I've always believed that comics is a legitimate art form, and it was so frustrating being in college. Like, there are certain artists that were allowed into the curriculum and certain artists that weren't. And I would always ask them, like, when I was back in school for painting and printmaking, like, we could look at Andy Warhol, we could look at Ansel Kiefer or David Sally or somebody. But I was like, well, what about Jack Kirby? Like, can we look at Jack? Like, no, that's comic books. And then it's like, okay, well, then is it merely money? Like, do you just want to see some money? Here's Frank Frazetta, motherfucker. You happy now? But then it's like, that's not enough. There is something that's very special to comics that makes it a different art medium. The French call it the ninth, right? We already have dance, poetry, literature, music, right? Go on the line. And then eventually comics is something, it's a weird hybrid of storytelling and picture making. And I think it's its own medium. It's special. It really is.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to my channel. This is Rocky Ballesteros. I'm Rocky Ballesteros. And welcome to My Wednesday Comics for today, September 24th, 2025. Good seeing you guys all here. Goodness gracious, is my volume too loud? Hopefully my volume's all working and everything. Good seeing you guys all here. Thank you for joining. This is going to be a good one today. We've got some books that we picked up today, the current mainstream books that I'm picking up today. I don't know, like current books. It's mainstream, but some of them are independent. Whatever. Current books I'm picking up today. I've got some books that I want to share with you guys that I got from a back issue dig that I went to a couple weeks ago, and I was able to find some gems there. And also, we're going to kick this off with an awesome surprise unboxing today. Some of you in the chat might know what that's about, but it's going to be really good, and I'm super excited. That's what we're going to start off today doing, is that unboxing, but I'm really excited to get into that. That's going to lead into probably a bigger discussion if I know you guys in chat, if I know myself, probably lead into a bigger discussion. But yeah, it's a great day. It's a great day for comics, and of course, welcome to my channel. This is my show. Call it My Wednesday Comics. It's a chance to just share with this audience about the comics that I find on a weekly basis. One of the things I dropped in my chat, both here and on Discord, was a little poll, which kind of has to do with how often you guys watch streamers, like your favorite streamers, and how often do they stream. I'm just kind of gathering data, gathering information for myself to see what are the trends and what's successful for certain people who stream also on YouTube, whether that's comics or anything, just like what keeps people's attention. So it's also like gives me information to change this channel or grow this channel in different ways. You guys have known that just a few weeks ago, we broadened the scope of what this channel is beyond YouTube, where I started a Discord channel because some of you guys live on Discord as well. And so that's been fun to figure out, tinker with. I even added this in. Boom. Look at that. Just added a whole Discord aspect to it. And the way I like to think of it, at least with Discord, is YouTube is like the home for my live connection with everybody. So for example, this show, My Wednesday Comics, I do this live, and just it opens up a live conversation of comics, what I get every week. And then I also do a stream, it's called a Master Study stream, where I reproduce a page or an image from a comic book that I admire, usually an artist that is like, a legendary artist or a master, as I like to call it. And I do that on live stream as well. So I've done 8 different master studies so far, and hopefully we'll start a new one very shortly here. So that's also a live aspect to this channel. And then I see Discord, as I've added Discord into the mix, I see that more as like the primary communication tool. It's kind of like chat happening 24/7. So it's like the primary communication tool with me and you guys, and just the community building that involves. Because YouTube is great for building up its own community. But it ends when I'm done live streaming, and so I think there's so much more community to be had outside of it. And I've already seen it since I've started Discord. It's like I can have side conversations with people. We have a few different like channels going on in the particular Discord. It's called the Groomsman Ground. We have a few different channels there that have to do like comic book artists that I love, and that, just sharing images from that. Or sometimes I even like stream, not with me live streaming, but I stream like videos and watch them on there. And sometimes people join in on that. So it's kind of this cool little aspect, still figuring it out, still like muddling around in there. And it's great to see other people join in and contribute as well. So yeah, come join. I pinned the link at the top of the chat, the Discord link. It's an invite only, and that invite lasts, I believe, every 7 days. You can generate, or it's valid for 7 days. So if you're watching this stream, or you're watching the stream now, or you're watching it within 7 days of September 24th, click on that link and come join us on Discord and see what it's all about. Would love to have you there. And then the other aspect that I have on for this channel that we built out was this website called Fourth Wall, which is similar to Patreon. And you can plunk down a little bit of money. I believe it's a $6. I know it's a $6 a month membership. And that one is more if you support me as an artist. And right now, the big part of that is the master studies that I've done. I've kind of shown them on stream and I post images of it. But for Fourth Wall, if you do join, I let people have, or you can download high-res scans of all the master studies I've done. So not just the inks of them, but the pencils as well. So that's been pretty cool to kind of share with everybody. And I'm hoping to build that out too, just as an artist, putting my art out there, selling my original art. That's where it will all live on Fourth Wall. It's all pretty new right now, but I do appreciate the support for people who've already supported me in that way. It's going to be great. I call it the groundbreaker tier because I'm kind of groundbreaking in what I want to do with this channel, how I want to build this community. And so, yeah, Fourth Wall is the way to do it. And then finally, I didn't make a little YouTube icon, but there is also a way to join my channel through YouTube memberships, which are $1.99 a month, $2 a month. And you could just like enhance your time here in the community. And a bunch of you guys in the chat already are channel members. Which is awesome. And it's like you get custom emoji, you get custom badges, and obviously I will shout out that you guys are channel members here. So those are all ways that you can engage with me and comics and what I'm doing here. And I so appreciate you guys all here. I should have said this was shooting the fat already, but now it is. And now I will say hello. Hello to the chat. Mo Biggs was first in the chat. How are you doing, Mo Biggs?
Better known as Mo, Big wasn't always the confident voice we hear today.
And Mo Biggs, he did jump in really fast. Mark's Music Obsession said it. I saw you, both of you guys pop. Once I hit go live, both of you guys like popped in there, which is amazing, and appreciate it. Appreciate that. Mark's Music Obsession, he's really good at like, he's been first in the chat many times. So it's almost like like musical chairs. It's like once the music stops, like people jump into the chat. So it's great. I love that. It's better than earlier on in this channel's life when I would go live and I'm like, man, I hope people show up. I mean, I still hope people show up now, but it's been a little bit great. And I appreciate you guys kind of spending your time here this afternoon with me. Lindsay Rose is here. How you doing, Lindsay Rose?
Roses are red, violets are blue.
I have no idea what is midlife Stockman, but you're at the tail end of that. Maybe that's another YouTube channel. I'm not sure. So yeah, okay, but great to have you here. Let's see what else. Mark's Music Obsession says, since Bancroft lost his X account, no way to message him to make sure he watches this one, Rocky. Michael Bancroft often jumps here in the chat, also a YouTube streamer, also a comic creator. Just recently, a few weeks ago, got his X account banned, which doesn't make any sense because he is anything but, he has said nothing that is anywhere near ban-worthy in my opinion. So it was really surprising. I just saw some messages here and there. I believe it was from his wife, who was just like asking Twitter to reassess his account. So that totally sucks. Like, and that's part of the reason why I'm trying to diversify my connection with you all more than just on YouTube or on one platform. And I've heard people recommend this many a times of like, you've got to have multiple ways of connecting with your audience and kind of have a little bit more control of that. Otherwise, if you get banned on one platform that you've been building for years, and in some people's cases, decades, and then it just gets shut off, the tap gets shut off, that's really frightening. So I know it's kind of clunky. I've been DMing, like Mark's Music Obsession, we've been DMing left and right, like on X, on Discord, on YouTube, like it's all over the map a little bit. We'll get more unified, hopefully, and kind of get into a rhythm better with it. But that's why. So it might be a little clunky now, but I'm just kind of protecting myself a little bit, just in case I go nutty and people start banning me. I've got multiple ways of getting my message out there. Mark's Music Obsession says he wouldn't get a notification anyway. Maybe he will get it. Then he had a second guess here. Maybe he will get a notification, Rocky. And Mark's Music Obsession, channel member here. So is Mo Biggs. And Mo Biggs got that gift membership last week, I believe. So that was awesome. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. The 2-minute counter, and I actually got a notification. That's right. That's awesome. Talking about Bancroft. Bancroft was banned for inauthentic behavior. They think he's a bot because he retweets so many comic book campaigns. That's crazy because, I mean, I wouldn't even say half the posts that he posts are retweeting other campaigns. I really don't know what happened. Like, and the crazy thing is, like, YouTube can never give you a straight answer. I know when I was having issues with getting copyright strikes, or why I couldn't launch memberships on my channel when I hit the certain threshold. I think it was 500 subscribers. And I had the watch hours and all the little requirements, and they're like, yep, you can't do memberships. I'm like, why? And it took me days to get a response back that I could understand of what the heck they were looking at. And then after that, it took another, weeks to kind of untangle all of that. So it's a little crazy. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of millions of different YouTube channels out there. So I can understand it would take a little while, but that doesn't make any sense of why he got banned. Lindsay Rose says, thanks, Mo. Is it bad that I laughed at that reason? And Mo Big says, no, I always laugh at Botcraft's antics. Making fun of his forehead. I don't even think he has that large of a forehead, to be honest. I mean, there's some of us here, 5 heads here, that can understand that. So anyway, forehead is what everyone calls Bancroft's massive novelty forehead. Bancroft's billboard of a forehead. That's messed up. Mo Biggs coined the term, but it was just based on the way he pronounces forehead. Yes, forehead. Yeah, good time. Volume is good. All right, great. Mark's Music Obsession. Volume is 7.5. Yapping is probably higher. Volume is good. Thank you guys. Mystery Box sounds like a super show in the making. Just you wait, Mo Biggs. Just you wait. Mark's Music Obsession. He may know a little an inside scoop there. Thanks, Mark, for that plug. Yes, come join us on Fourth Wall. And like I said, we're at the beginning stages. The big thing being that master study, and hopefully that's an ongoing thing that, as long as you remember, I'll keep posting up those high-res scans for people to be able to view. It's cheaper than buying the original art, which I know can get expensive for people. And I'm not even at the point where I'm selling that stuff. But it's going to be more expensive than $6. That's for sure. Emo Trash. What's up, Emo Trash? Got to hang a little bit last night. Emo Trash was on the Art and Times of Jay Ryan's channel last night. And he was doing some drawing, which was awesome to see. I always love watching people draw. It's so like relaxing. And then half the conversation is people just insulting everybody else. So it's really fun. But it was good seeing you, Emo Trash. Mo Big says, my banter would be a lot to take on a 27-4 basis. So I will stray myself to the YouTube chat. A 27-4. Man, you have more hours in your day and you have less days in your week. So that's crazy. Lindsay Rose says it's a fun time in Discord. Yes, definitely. Mark's Music Obsession knows about the master study scans. He can attest to the scanning. Hopefully the scans look good, Mark. I think they did. I went through them and adjusted them a little bit just so different pieces of dust and all that aren't it. But that's kind of part of the cool thing to see those high-res scans, to see all the cracks and mistakes and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully you enjoy that. Thank you for supporting me in that way. Mo Big says the pig feeder lady can attest to how groundbreaking Rocky can be. He dug her basement hole. Should I read the rest of that? Oh my goodness. Yes, the Jello. That's right. See, you get fun things when you subscribe here. The lime Jello, that's a legendary part of this channel. That is also a little emoji that you can add to the chat here when you become a channel member. And then you can also use them on Discord too, as a matter of fact. Still got to make the the lime Jello. Yeah, Mark. Thanksgiving is just around the corner. Or I could see how you could make it for Halloween, maybe. Maybe instead of handing out candy, you can hand out lime Jello cubes. How about that? Comrade Sammy's in the house. How are you doing, Comrade Sammy? One of the OGs. See, Mo Biggs also refuses to join Discord, and I can respect that. Dagnammit, Comrade Sammy. What is the big deal? I think you'd love it. Discord has all sorts of nooks and crevices that a ninja would love. It's not like you're not exposed for the world to see. It's a private, invite-only channel. It's really quiet. We have a little bit of activity. I'd like a little bit more activity from you guys, but I understand it's new. We're building it. But it's really quiet. It's peaceful, Comrade Sammy. And then some days in the evenings, if I feel like it, and I'm just doing busy work or whatever, I'll throw on a YouTube video or something I'm watching, a movie, and I'll pop it in that stream room in the Discord channel. And and just watch it there. And it's been fun. When I was watching, I think it was Art and Times. Oh, no, I was watching Jason Bascom Unhinged Entertainment's stream, and I streamed it in Discord. And then Emo Trash jumped in Discord just to check, make sure I was streaming things okay. But yeah, it was fun. It was crazy. It was like meta. Good seeing you, Comrade Sammy. We ignore the first few minutes of the stream just to troll him. Yeah. Scarlet Fever's in the house. How are you doing? What's up, everyone? Great seeing you, Scarlet Fever. Thanks for joining us. It's really good seeing you here. The ninja is spotted. Yes. Midlife is a yard cleaner around Detroit. If you've heard of Al Blades, he's like that. I have no idea. That sounds crazy and interesting. Is that a YouTube channel? Huh. Drop the link in the chat if you want. That would be really cool to kind of understand what that is. Mark Ninja spotted. Maybe I should do a better job at hiding. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's more fun when you're in the chat, Comrade Sammy. We all know that. That's facts. 100%. Scarlet Fever. Nice. Any relation to Lindsay Rose? Wow. I'm going to drop that. Drum roll or ba-dum bump for you. That was awesome. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969.
How do you say monkey in French?
Our favorite Francophile. What's up, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969? Mark is chomping at the bit. This is going to be cool. billboard of a forehead is diabolical. It's messed up. You do not have to be careful not to catch the fever. Once you have, there is no going back. The scarlet fever. That's a killer profile pic there too. Scarlet fever. I love it. And awesome. We don't want any real scarlet fever, but we'll take your scarlet fever here. Ferrets are at the boys' house. I got a bird in the cage downstairs and a cat. You got a whole zoo there, emo trash. That's right. Wild Kingdom. Absolutely. If I ever mentioned it, but the yappy little ankle biter was finally rehomed the other. Oh no. Oh no, that's kind of sad, isn't it? Isn't that sad? Was that, it's not like you were fostering the animal, was it? Or was it like you just got tired of it and kicked it out? Yeah, cats and birds don't mix. I'm not a big bird fan. It's hard to connect with birds. I know there's certain birds that are cute or like really a lot of personality, but something about birds, the smell of birds, not a big fan. Cat and bird are kept cautiously separate. That makes sense. Cat stays in my room during the day. If little bird is let out, then is released at night when birdie goes to bed. That would be horrible if they crossed paths and something tragic happened. That would not be good. That'd be traumatic. Yeah. I just want to see the looks on the kids' faces for the Jell-O. I heard that. So Robin Williams used to have a house in the city in San Francisco, where I am. And I heard rumors. I've never experienced it. I never was able to like make it to his house because he lived in a pretty posh neighborhood and it was really crowded. And we never actually, my kids have been trick-or-treating in that neighborhood before, but I never personally walked around there during Halloween. But I heard a rumor that when he did live there, he passed out toothbrushes, which I thought was amazing and really made a lot of sense for somebody like Robin Williams because, everybody's getting candy, toothbrushes. But I don't know. Lime Jello would be a little bit of a shock, I think. Yeah. Mr. Monkey Boy says, I'm with Comrade Sammy not joining Discord. You guys don't know what you're missing. Or maybe you do. It's another thing to maintain, but it's fun. It's fun. It's harmless. I don't know. I'd like to see more activity. One more reason I'm glad not to be under the thumb of Rocky, the Discord slave driver. Yeah. Yeah, you get to know the real me on Discord. Not this cheery. What did Art and Times of Jay Ryan was talking about me last night? He said my streams were pretty chill. I said, boring, right? That's what you're saying, boring. But yeah, you get to see the real me on Discord. Peaceful, you say? How exactly is that something I would like? Come on, you know me, Rocky. You could add the chaos if you want. Maybe that's it. That's why it's so peaceful, because you're not there. So, could use a little chaos. Emo Trash is there though, but she's pretty quiet on Discord, but she's there. Maybe. It ain't gonna work. I'll stick to keeping my chaos here. All right, fine. That's fine. And that's kind of how I wanted to build it too. I didn't want to like take away from what I'm doing here on YouTube. Just wanted to enhance it, supplement it, add to it. So one day we're gonna throw a really huge party on Discord though, and you just might not know. You might not know. Like the polls already very difficult to do polls in both areas. And I'd argue Discord does better polls than YouTube. So just saying. I'm just saying. Not really a Francophile. The girls over there have. All right, Lindsay Rose dropped the link for the Midlife Stockman. That's amazing. I'm all for the crazy different recommendations from YouTube. I'm not a Big Bird fan. Now, that's an understatement. There was a good reason Rocky was not that Big Bird. I love Big Bird. That Big Bird. Sesame Street Big Bird. Amazing. But not a Big Bird fan. He was literally left here because his people were incapable of holding down jobs for more. Oh, the animal? Oh, man. That's crazy. Okay, you signed up for Lucky. You didn't sign up to have the dog dropped on her lap and especially a high-maintenance little noise box. Oh, okay. Got it. Discord can be fun. Watch parties are the best. Love to watch movies in there. See, Scarlet Fever knows. She. Scarlet Fever, let me know. I'm assuming she. You can correct me if I'm wrong. She knows Discord can be fun. And I think the watch party aspect of it is pretty cool because I've mentioned this before. There's no, because it's a private channel, there's no copyright issues there. So like I was streaming Transformers the movie one day, which I would do again publicly. I need to learn. I'm learning more about setting events for people so that it reminds people to, that I'm streaming something as opposed to just randomly doing it. But Transformers the movie was one I was watching. That was a really fun one to watch all over again. And no issues with streaming, copyright issues. It was great. Yes, I'm a lady. All right, awesome, Scarlet Fever. Just wanted to make sure. Well, if I won't know about the Discord party, then there'd be nothing I feel like I missed out on. Fair enough. Fair enough. We're really like fighting. I feel like I'm trying to get my one of my kids to do something that I need them to do, Comrade Sammy. But I won't push. I'm not going to push it. I myself am still like, well, I don't know how this Discord thing works. So it's hard for me to be the the big advocate for it, but it's been fun. Aw, there we go. See? This community? Come on. How could you miss out on that? All right. I think I caught up in the chat. That is not too bad. 30, that's pretty average. 30 minutes. Scarlet Fever, if you're not familiar with how this works, usually takes me half an hour to catch up on the chat at the beginning of these things, but I did it. We're here. And now we're going to get to the first item on the list. Are we ready for this? Okay. So, how do I do this? I didn't even know what I was going to do after that drum roll. Oh, okay. Here we go. I got a package in the mail last week. And I knew this was coming because someone, a good fellow, a part of this community, let me know that this package was coming. He was going to send it my way. And I was like, really? Okay. But I so appreciate this, dude. This comes from our good buddy here, MMO, Mark's Music Obsession, sent me this package last week. And you guys will understand why in a second when I open it. But it's pretty cool. Like, when you think about it, guys, I started this YouTube channel maybe about a year and a half ago, if I'm not mistaken, and has just slowly built it up how it is. You know, we're still slowly building up, not exploding by any stretch of the imagination, just doing what I love, talking about comics. And a great fun aspect of this has been meeting all of you and just watching the community grow because of people like you. Mark's Music Obsession has been an amazing addition to this community. And I've seen him in many other chats, and just having him here be part of the original mod squad, one of the OGs, and then also to support me with memberships and fourth wall and jumping in Discord. It's been awesome. And so for me to hold a physical package now from somebody that I've never met in person, just met on YouTube, is kind of crazy. It kind of blew my mind a little bit. I'm like, whoa, this is from Mark. Like, this is crazy. So I'm really excited to open this up. And yes, it is a comic book. And, but let's see what we got here. And I'm gonna treat this really nice and really well because I know that this one means a lot to Mark. So yeah, this is pretty exciting. Just to have our worlds cross here. That the postal service actually still works and stuff travels in the air from one side of the country to the next. Aha, Mark, I see you've reused a Gemini mailer here from Rise Again Comics. Oh, this is so good. All right. Well done with the bubble wrap, Mark. Standard Gemini mailer. Well done. Bagged and board like a boss. Well done. Look at this. Look at this beauty. All right, let me get you guys a closer view here. Let me make sure I am focused. Booyah. All right, Mark sent me one of his very own copies of Web of Spider-Man #1. So for those of you who don't know, Mark is a big fan of this comic book. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mark. This was one of your like first comic books to like, I don't know, get you hooked on comics, or like, I don't know if it was your very, very first comic book. But this is like an important piece of Mark's fandom of comic books right here in front of it. And this particular copy is also like, you know, it's his copy. It's not like he just sent me a random one. It's like his copy, which I am very honored to have it in front of me, and I will take very good care of it. So the beauty of this cover is this came out in 1984, Web of Spider-Man #1. This beautiful cover by one of the craziest, like really good fantasy and comic book illustrator by the name of Charles Vess, who he's a painter too. He's done some, oh man, I wish, where is that book? Oh, dang, I should have, I don't even know where it is. I have a book that he did called Rose. And if I can find it, if I can't find it, I might look on my bookshelf around the corner. If I can't find it there, then it might be in my back issue box. And I'll which is in the garage. And I'll share it maybe in the future, in a future stream. It would be worth it. But he usually drew some interiors, but primarily more of like exterior cover work or whatever. And this cover is so iconic for Spider-Man, especially the black suit Spider-Man. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And Mark has been pushing this cover to be one of my master studies. And it's a little daunting because it's painted, and I mean, I know how to paint, but I wouldn't say I'm a painter like, say, Shantan Jetty is. But it is a worthy image to be studied and reproduced. So we can talk about that a little later, but let me flip through this beauty. Mark putting that backing board in the center too. Let's see what you guys are saying. Comrade Sammy says, I'm part of the mod squad. You're practically your internet children. It's true. It is true. You're doing good. Can take more time to get through the start of a stream. Thank you. Yes. Package from Mark, you say. Yes, now I'm interested. That's nice of you. Mark's Music Obsession. Absolutely. Mark is basically unofficially the co-host. Mark says, this is cool. Is that weird? Is this weird for you to see this, Mark? Beautiful. And so I wish that Charles Vess drew the interior of this book, which he didn't, just the cover. But I can't wait to flip through this, because honestly, I have not seen this issue or looked through this issue in ages. So I'm really, really excited to kind of see how they kicked off this series. Greg LaRocque is the penciler, kind of similar to how you spell my name, and Jim Mooney's the inker. Which, wait a minute, Jim Mooney's the inker. Oh no, that was a different guy. I thought it was the artist of this one book. But so for those of you who don't know, Spider-Man's black suit, one of the key story points in Spider-Man's history or quick canon is this black suit, right? He is known for his red and blue suit with the webbing. But in the 80s, he got this black suit, which is a alien being, like a symbiote being. And he got it like he connected with it and switched to this black suit. And it just became famous. And now, we have Venom. We have a million versions of Venom and all that. But this is the origin this is the original form of this suit. And I do remember as a kid, this is so good. I do remember as a kid, like, it's a big deal for any comic character to change their costume because for whatever reason, it's just iconic. Like, I mean, you guys know as I review like Absolute Batman on this channel or any of the Absolute stories, like they try and keep it to what's familiar with some of the characters, but they also kind of go off and try and do their own variations. So that can definitely upset fans. And I wasn't as in tune with fandom when I was reading this as a young kid, but I know from my own response was like, whoa, like you're giving him a totally different costume, but there is something so iconic about this all black version. And I think they were just trying to figure it out as the writers, like the writer on this is Louise Simonson. She is the wife of Walt Simonson. She's a great writer. Pretty much worked in the comic industry as a writer as long as Walt did as an artist and writer. There is something about like old school comics I love. Look at this. This is so cool. He's trying to figure out this costume. And this was before the costume was evil, like took on the evil form of Venom or like connected with Eddie Brock's personality and became evil. So it was kind of this cool, like, it was this cool way of giving him a new costume and also explaining how he could get it on so fast. He didn't have to like put on a mask. His web shooters were up here on his wrist, at the top of his wrist, as opposed to like shooting it like this. So that was kind of a huge change for Spider-Man. Yeah, so it's neat. He's like, here he is. He's like figuring it out, like how to use it, how to sling webs. That's great. Sorry, I'm just like taking this on. The Vulturions. That's awesome. The Vulture is one of the OG Spider-Man villains, like from, one of the original when Spider-Man was introduced as a character. So I think they're trying to kind of parallel that with these Vulturions. It's great. Wow, I'm interesting. So one of the key like story points in just Venom or like the black suit's background is like it really can't deal with, like, there's certain frequencies of sound that irritate it or it can't stand. And in the Venom storyline that Todd McFarlane was the artist on and kind of skyrocketed to fame, they used this church and this bell to control the evil presence of the black suit. So I don't know if they're I don't know if it was referencing this or there's just a coincidence that there's a church bell here. And then they also, subsequently they use that same device in the movie with Tobey Maguire. Wow, that's great. This is a great page. Here you go. Here's your birds right here, Emo Trash. I'm thinking Spider-Man, Mr. Monkey Boy. The fourth wall is breaking before our very eyes. Absolutely. Great cover, Mo Big says. Yes. Ooh, that one. Yes. Not first, but the first complete run I ever bought. Oh, okay. There you go. That's the history. There it is. There it is. They're totally using this bell. Yeah, see this the suit, the symbiote is like can't handle it. Ah, okay, so I guess they totally were hearkening back to this Web of Spider-Man for the McFarlane stuff. That's creepy. It's like the symbiote like helped him out. Dun, dun, dun. Cool. Look at that. That is such an iconic image. I remember seeing that in so many corner boxes. The comic. Pretty cool. And that cover, I mean, that cover's amazing. Is beautiful. So ever since like Mark's like, you got to do this cover as a master study, and ever since he kept bringing it up, I've been scouring the web actually to try and find a good scan of this, whether it's like a black and white scan or a color scan of this actual painting, and they're really hard to find. I found some, and but that's another reason why Mark sent this. Maybe it's his last Hail Mary of like, you should do this cover. He sent this so that I can actually scan it off of this comic book. So I will do that, Mark, and I'll take a look at it. So spoiler alert, guys, I think this is where we're going for the next master study. I got to make sure I got enough information here that I can actually do this justice. And also I got to think like, am I going to try and do like a painted wash on it? Or the other thing I was thinking about as I was formulating, can I do this as a master study? I was like, I could try and do, instead of the painting part of it, I could try and use like Zipatone. So it would have a totally different effect, but it might be kind of cool, like this inside stuff, to do some Zipatone as opposed to color wash. Because if I do color wash, ooh, it's going to be hard. Or if I even do ink wash, like just grayscale wash, I have to have a different process, like use different paper or something. So there's a couple of like key components to figure out, Mark, but the effort you put in sending this to me and just the conversation we've had over months about this cover, I think it's time that I really like bite the bullet and just give it a go. So well done, Mark. I'm going to give you one of these. Thank you so much for sending this. It's amazing. I can't wait to read the story, like sit down and read the story. Look at this, 65 cents before we used to be able to get comics. That's just, I actually remember when comics were, I think the cheapest I remember comics was 60 cents as a kid. But geez Louise, 65 cents. Now comics are like $4.99, $5.99 for one issue. That's not even half as good as this. But what a piece of history right here, not just in the story and the character, but for Mark's life too. So I love it. I love that we were able to do that. And look, it made it. It made it here in one piece. So I will take good care of this, Mark. For sure. And I'll do a high scan on this and see what I can do out of that. So thanks again. Thank you for sending it. No pressure. Rocky is better versed in Inksville. Yeah, this is going to stay far away from any of my ink bottles. This is on the other side of my desk. So no worries. Such a good series. Yes. Hey, K-pop junkie. Awesome seeing you. I'm going to put this one over here. Really nice. Let me catch up with you guys. K-pop saying hello. His original red and blue suit was based on the common red and blue spider. I would say, I don't know if you guys can think of it. I mean, I'd love to hear in the chat. Like, as far as costume changes, so some changes, like when a beloved character changed its costume. I'm trying to think like examples of characters that their costume change was like just as cool as the original, or like wasn't a total bomb. So I can think of a few in my hand, like this one, Spider-Man, definitely his like black costume and the red, from the red and blue to the black costume. It's great. Both of them in my mind are equally so cool. Wolverine's costume, remember his original like yellow and black costume was like, okay, that's, he's cool. He's a cool character. But then when they came out with like the brown costume, which I don't know, to go to brown wasn't like, it didn't seem like it was an upgrade, but it still looked cool. So that was awesome. I know the X-Men have gone through a million different costume changes, some more successful than others. Like Storm's original costume, they're like long hair, the headband, and the like amazing cape. And then she went to like Mohawk Storm in the 80s. Oh, that was awesome. Superman's costume change. I've never seen Superman's costume change be better than his original, honestly. And as much as I love, like, the slight, I guess, Batman, just slight he never had a huge overhaul. It was just different artists doing their own takes. Well, that's not true. Yeah, that's not true. Yeah, Batman's had some few different costume changes. Cranberry Langer's favorite, Kitty Pryde. She's had some costume changes. Some have not been good. Some have been okay. A master study page from the book would also be very cool. Mark's Music Obsession says. You worked on the Iron Giant? Me? No, I didn't work on the Iron Giant. Where did you get that from? I worked with somebody who was one of the supervising animators on the Iron Giant. There was a animator director by the name of Richard Baisley. He also worked on Hercules and stuff. So he's a good friend of mine, and I worked closely with him on a few projects. But I wish I worked on the Iron Giant. Oh yeah, I could share images of Little Bird Tune. You could, Emo Trash. You could on Discord. Discord is the way to go. Only with permission from the bird, or that could be considered doxing. Yes. It's one of my favorite covers. It's a really good cover. Any method will be amazing, Mark's Music Obsession. We're going to do it right, Mark, but I got to figure out how to do it. Charles Vess's style is not one that I would say comes naturally to me. There's certain artists I gravitate to because I think like, I can understand how they process the world or like create this artwork because my brain is kind of wired like that. I think it's just preference, but it's also like how they put down their lines and their line work and how they exaggerate things. Charles Vess is not one of those. So that's why I'm like, whoa, can I do a Charles Vess? And then also the painterly aspect of it, but we'll figure out a way to do it really, really good. Rocky was playing 4D, tricking Mark into wanting that cover for the Master Series. That black suit is insurance in case he spills more ink. Genius. Absolute genius. Superman had a costume. He's had many costume changes, Lindsay Rose. If you look up there's a series called The Return of Superman, which happened after the death of Superman. and all these different Supermen came into play. So, I mean, maybe that's technically not a costume change, but it was. And they had they had those different forms of him. And then he had like an I call it the electric boogaloo costume. It was like a blue, it was horrible. It was one of the worst costume designs for a Superman that I'd ever seen. And then that quickly fell away. And his S has changed, has different forms from different series too. But I think the original has always been my favorite. I feel like Peeps would revolt if they were huge. Yes. Okay, cool. Red and blue costume, then the black one too. For Superman? Did Superman have a black? He did have a black. Did he have a... Are we talking about Superman here, K-pop? He's had a few. And I don't think I've liked many of them. Okay, so anyway, that was an amazing way to start off this stream. Web of Spider-Man #1, Mark's Music Obsessions, personal copy. How about that, folks? Mark had a special guest here watching. Oh no. I mean, great. Hello, special guest. No pressure. Yes, Superman. Oh, okay, yeah. With this black costume, didn't he have like kind of like a mullet hairline? Yeah, I don't think I like that one either. Yeah, Superman. It's a tough one. Superman is a tough one for me. It's hard to get me to like really buy into, outside of the original, beginnings of Superman. It's hard for me, like any of the different forms he's taken. Yeah. Awesome one's here. A blank page. Boo.
Yes, that's awesome.
I don't know what to say about that. Awesome one. How are you? Yes, Superman. She is enjoying your stream. Oh, okay, great. I'm glad to hear that. He even had them with and without undies on. That's right. Yes. Jay Ryan's drawing better than my. Yes, I have nothing here. That's absolutely true. I have a newsstand edition of it also, but got it sometime after. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that me on the side that you had a couple versions of it, but it's great. I love it. Okay, this is one of the books I picked up today. Escape. Wait, did I get the... Yeah, Escape #2. So I don't know if you guys remember this one. I reviewed or flipped through Escape #1. I guess it was a month ago, right? When it first came out. It's by Rick Remender, the writer, and Daniel Acuna is the artist. This is... So I was cautious about this series because they've gone full on anthropomorphic. So they're using animal characters. But what struck me about this series was the artwork. Not just the designs, but the color too is really different and unique. And the storyline is this like World War battle and like behind enemy lines kind of feel to it. And so I read the first issue and it's great. It's really good. Very heavy and dark, as you would imagine a war story being. But it takes on this cool aspect because they have these animal characters in it. And spoiler alert, in the first issue, this guy's flying in a plane with his crew and they all pretty much die and he crashes his plane behind enemy lines. And the enemies are these like bat characters here. But yeah, the artwork's great in this. It looks just so different, so fresh, and really unique. And like I said, the color is a big part of that as well. So I was excited that this issue came out today. I'm not sure how many issues. It's a limited series, so I'm not sure how many issues are in this. But it just feels different than stuff that I normally see that's like anthropomorphic characters. It's got a weight to it. like a heaviness to the characters. They do feel realistic, even though they're animals, as opposed to like cartoony, you know? I think that has a lot to do with the planes. I mean, like the vehicles, the setting is very referenced and feels very like believable. So you don't second guess. It's not like, oh, I'm in Zootopia, you know, from Disney. You know, it's not. It's a lot more serious than that. It's great use of shadows, and yeah, look at these colors. They're just awesome coloring. It's great. This great sense of, in this panel, this great sense of lighting here. Mark's Music Obsession dropping the super chat for $4.99. Thank you so much, channel member Mark's Music Obsession. Starting the supplies fund for the master study. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you so much for that support. I mean, you already just sent me this comic, Mark. You mailed it to me. My goodness. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. And I'm glad that we got to share that opening on stream here. It's great. And this cool kind of fireworksy color here sequence. That's odd. Seeing dogs or whatever. I guess they're dogs. Dog characters kiss. That's odd. That'll never work for me. I mean, as good as the drawing is, that's like, that doesn't that doesn't seem natural. Because dogs in real life, I mean, you wouldn't want them to be affectionate like dogs are affectionate here in real life. But yeah, that's weird. They're not meant to kiss like that. Anyway, moving right along. What is going on here? Okay, this is getting weird. Moving right along. This is awesome. This is awesome. Good color here. I never flipped through this before. If you haven't noticed, I didn't flip through this before the stream, so didn't know. We were getting really mature on some of these pages. But I guess the point is to show us he's invested. He's got a family. Get it. But it's unique. I think Remender was actually explaining this a little bit in a like a letter at the back of the first issue of why they decided to go with like animals. And a lot had to do with because they're dealing with such heavy subjects of like war and death and, you know, like extermination of beings. He felt like because animals inherently, we have this connection with animals. People usually like animals. It would be an easier pill to swallow. So it's kind of cool for him to explain that. It was great. Feels like we're watching a movie. It's getting discovered. Issue 2 goes to print. What is this? Issue 2 goes to print before issue 1 hits the shelves of your local comic shops. Your letters will be coming to issue 3. Oh, all right. Interesting. There we go. Escape number 2. Very cool. If you're into like wartime stories and want to try a different take on them, I highly recommend this. The writing was really good on the first issue too. Like, I know I just spoiled that all these characters died, but you kind of care for them immediately. Like he really quickly builds this bond between them. This like, you're part of my troop bond, and like they all have different personalities and they all sacrifice different things, and they get slaughtered in that first issue before he crash lands into this enemy territory. So you kind of feel for them very quickly, and they set up the drama. So it was a good one. Escape Number 2, issue 2. I'll have to look up how many issues this whole series is going to be. Sometimes, no, I don't think they say that. Sometimes they'll write into like little footer notes of like 2 of 5 or whatever. But okay, let's see. Is this furry degeneracy? Maybe. Mullet Superman didn't look that bad. It wasn't a full-on mullet. I don't know. I don't think there's ever been a time where I thought a mullet looked good. Whether it's full-on mullet or partial mullet or whatever. Yes, furry. He just went through my copy, Spider-Man #1 copy. Awesome. Yes, we did. Awesome. And go back and watch it. Yes. Here. I'll show you. It's worth showing. This is Mark's copy right here. Like magic, it appeared on YouTube. Isn't that cool? Escape. What's that? I called Mr. Burger a furry. I'm going to have to rewrite the beginning of Arrow now. What's that? Is that your story? I don't know. It looks pretty Zootopia-ish to me. Zootopia is a little bit more cartoony. It feels a little bit more cartoony than this, with like the proportions and just the subject matter they're dealing with. Furry fun for Rocky. Okay, I was joking about this being furry degeneracy, but it's furry degeneracy. Maybe. Normal PDA is awkward. It is. I don't want to see dogs making out. Yep. I watched Ark Knight, and they have animal ears and tails, and the state despises the infected, so there's lots of fighting. Dang it. How did I miss the mullet comment? We were talking about Superman, Lindsay Rose. ARO is AR-15 orangutan. They put him in a cage. He'll put them in the ground. Oh, okay. All right. No, I will never, ever grow a mullet. That wasn't anywhere near Zootopia, more like Beastars. Oh, I've heard of Beastars. Beastars. Did you miss the super chat? You might have. It came on here. We can show it. I can show it there. There it is. There's the super chat. Mark's Music Obsession. Dropping $4.99. Thank you so much, Mark. All right, this one was a big release for today. Skinbreaker #1 by Robert Kirkman of Walking Dead fan, Invincible, Walking Dead, and the whole Skybound label. This is the Skybound symbol right there. And superstar artist David Finch doing their own creator-owned thing called Skinbreaker. So this has been kind of hyped up a lot. And if you're a fan of Finch's stuff, you know, he hasn't drawn... I don't think he's drawn any regular book recently, and definitely hasn't worked on a creator-owned thing recently. So it's kind of cool to see, like, oh my gosh, these two are pairing up, and you know, some new Finch art. So I was really excited to get my hands on this. They actually released a treasury edition of this, but I hadn't seen it. I didn't see it in the stores that I went to, at least. I went to 2 stores today, and they didn't have a copy of the treasury edition. And I actually honestly wanted to flip through the newsstand edition first to see if it'd be even worth buying the treasury edition. The treasury edition is basically like bigger. I'm assuming it's like 11 by 17 size comic. So always more expensive. So you got to, you know, is it worth it to pay extra money for that? But at first glance, the artwork is super dense in this, in classic David Finch style. And he's inking himself, according to the credits, as he's the artist. So that's cool. But look how, like, just this first splash page is nuts. the ink work on this is nuts. I've streamed a David Finch stream. He has a YouTube channel as well. I've streamed one of his episodes that he was interviewing Klaus Janson, who is a incredible inker, inked a lot of Frank Miller's work. The cool thing about that is you're watching David Finch like draw on stream and ink on stream, and it's amazing. So cool to see like just the amount of line work that he puts into this stuff. There's no characters in this, but just the amount of like intricate line work. It's really beautiful. Look how dense that is. Oh wait, that's a glare. Look how crazy dense that is. And it seems like it's this kind of fantasy, almost like native alien story. But that's a lot of lines on that root, that tree bark. So I can see why they would want to launch a Treasury Edition. I was talking to Chris at Invisible Jet Comics today, one of the stores I visited, and she was just saying, I actually bought bags and boards for those bigger Treasury-sized comics because I have a number of them. And she was saying, more and more they keep coming out with this size that it's becoming regular for people to need bags and boards for those. That's a cool monster design there. One of the things I noticed, because I did flip through this when I picked it up, look at the crazy line work on these clouds. That is nuts. And all this here, all this texture. If it were me, I would just like black it out into shadow, but he like hatched it all beautiful. What is Beastars? Like a Zootopia fanfic? It's a anime book, right? Or manga book. I think they have it animated too. It's furry anime. Okay, there you go. It's anime mo, very chick flick. His favorite. It's a horrible anime. Jeffrey Beats, how you doing, man?
10% bogan, 50% bogan, 100% bogan.
Greetings from a very sunny Minjin. Nice. We had an amazingly sunny day yesterday. Too hot. It was like 80 plus degrees yesterday. And today it got all foggy. Usually when we have a really hot day here, the next day will be super foggy. That's exactly what happened. It even like rained a little bit, which was a pleasant surprise after the heat we had yesterday. Just super dense artwork on this. Might have been cool to get a Treasury Edition. If I find one on the newsstands, I might pick one up in the future. But this is really, really intense ink work. Yeah, David Finch is great. These colors are wild. They're wild pick. Like kind of way more saturated than you would expect. Kind of a Lord of the Rings, Avatar kind of world. Mobig says they combined weebery with furrydom. Are they trying to bring about the apocalypse? Lindsay Rose says, I don't think I could do season 2 of Beastars. Only Coffee Shop Woman would enjoy it. Gilmore Girls furry. Oh, goodness. I remember when that show came out, I could not stand Gilmore Girls because the way the dialogue was written, I'm like, nobody talks like this. Nobody in their right mind talks as much as you guys talk about the things you talk about. Wait, how did Rocky know about this Beastars? He immediately got the reference. I think I've seen the book on shelves before. I don't think I've seen the anime. I watched only part of a singular episode, and going blind and deaf would be preferable to experiencing that again. Wow. My boy Skip dared me to go into a Jimmy Reyes chat and ask who's David Finch. Dave Finch was in the chat, so I asked him. Oh, really? I think Jimmy Reyes was an inker of Finch, right? Yeah. Look at this crazy hatching. Emo prefers Dan to Dan Dan. Yes, she does. Because Dan to Dan is peak. I prefer Bo onto Infinity Bo. Bo uses his hair to fight as a hairstylist. It's called Gachia Kuta, according to my best attempt to spell it in Google. Gachia Kuta. Okay. Horses are for riding, not eating. What's up, Cranberry Langers?
This is a cranberry full of power.
Mark's offended. You missed it, Cranberry. We looked at Mark's music obsession, his personal copy, which he mailed to me, of Web of Spider-Man #1. You missed it, buddy. I should have done it at the end just to make sure more people were here in-house when that happened. Some sort of crazy sun sacrifice happening here. It's cool. It's really insane, though. Let me see. I'm just reading here. Let's see. David decided to draw this book. Here we go. I love this insider stuff. So here, I'm just reading this. It says, this is Robert Kirkman speaking. And he said, I wanted this series to be a real artist showcase. I wanted this book to be something people would hold up for years to come as an example of real comics masterpiece. With that in mind, David decided to draw this book on massive artboards. Each page is essentially a 2-page spread. Each 2-page spread is roughly 4 pages inside. So every single page is really double and often triple. That makes a lot of sense. You can see how lush and dense that jungle is. I've been quietly working on this book for 8 years. Oh my gosh. I wrote the first issue of the series in October of 2017. Aside from a few touch-ups and tweaks here and there, this full series is completely drawn. So, okay, you can expect the full 8 issues of this monumental series to ship on time, despite all issues being oversized. Yes, you can. Got it. David's, sure, check out the massive treasury-sized edition of each issue. That will be, wow, they're doing a treasury size for every single issue. Wow, that's crazy. You know, I would be more inclined to be like salivating at a treasury, here we go, treasury-sized issue if it was black and white, as opposed to just this blown up big. But if I can find one, I might pick up the first issue treasury-sized. That would be really cool. So there you go, Skinbreaker. Skinbreaker issue 1 kind of lives up to the hype, and it explains why this artwork is super dense, feels super dense, because he's actually drawing it at a bigger size than normal. Todd McFarlane did that when he was drawing Spider-Man, his original Spider-Man series. He drew the issues, at least the first, I want to say the first 3 or 4 issues, he drew them on bigger artboard because he wanted it to have more detail, more lines, be more in your face. And you can feel it when you read the book. As a kid, I didn't know that, but you can really feel it, that it's like, it feels more dense, and the artwork seems insane because he just was able, he had more real estate to add a lot more details and line work. So yeah, this feels kind of like that. Sweet art in that book. I did miss it. I'm ashamed. Cranberry Ranger says. Rocky mentioned you earlier when discussing superhero costume changes. I may have. That's great. I didn't know the context, but sounds yes. It may have rhymed. It might be a character whose name rhymes with Schmitty Schmide. Child sacrifice is a standard for a dark story. Yeah, I guess seems like it. Some kids getting sacrificed. I was just being facetious, just being overly dramatic. In the days of Jeremiah, I think it's common among pagan society to sacrifice the firstborn for a blessing. Many times it didn't stop at the first, as pleasure was desired more than having a family. There were some crazy times in human history, for sure. Okay, so that was all the new books I picked up today, if you can believe it. Just 2 new books. And I definitely looked. There was a few other things that I was looking at that were on my my on the fence list, and I didn't end up picking them out. So to fill this show out, I definitely I was thinking about what else could I show on the show. The unboxing of Mark's comic book, Web of Spider-Man #1, was a big part of that. But I also wanted to share with you guys some back issues I picked up a few weeks ago at a different store that are really fun. So here's one totally rando issue. The awesome thing about this issue is I remember, speaking of childhood comic books, for some odd reason, I had a copy of this book when I was a kid. I didn't have 1 through, this is a 4-issue limited series. I didn't have 1 through 3. I just had number 4. And when I was flipping through the dollar bin and I ran across this, I had this visceral reaction of I know this book. This book is burned in my brain. So what are the chances that I would find something like this, like an old book that I grew up on, and at some rando store. So here we go. This is The Falcon. And this is part of the reason why I kind of don't like the fact that they made Falcon in the MCU. They made him Captain America. I loved him just being the Falcon. He was cool. Sure, he doesn't have the gravitas of Captain America, but I mean, he was cool. He was cool enough to hold his own series, in my opinion. And I think, speaking of costume designs, as we were sharing a little bit about Spider-Man in that Web of Spider-Man, Electro is one of those costumes that I think is totally underrated. I love Electro's costume design. It's just peak superhero villain to me. And is drawn really well in this issue. So the artist on this is a guy by the name of Mark Bright. I don't know if Mark Bright is still drawing comics. This was published in '84, so around the same time as Web of Spider-Man #1. And then I've never heard of this inker before, Mike Gustovich. Oftentimes when I look at books that I grew up with, things that were oh my gosh, that was the most amazing book. And then you look at them now as an adult and you're like, oh, okay, that wasn't that great. But I was pleasantly surprised flipping through this book. I'm like, this is really good art. For somebody who I don't think is a superstar comic book artist, this artwork is pretty good. Look at that. Electro taking care of the gangs. I don't know why he's doing that. This is great. It's I love this. This is fun comic book stuff. He's zapping this thug and he's blowing through the panel, beyond the panel. And part of the panel here is kind of disintegrating from the electricity. I love that. Just gives it a lot more impact. It's whoa, he hit him so hard, he blew him off the comic page. I think I copied this Captain America image 1,000 times as a kid. I don't know why, but it's great. Great angle here. It's fun stuff. This is just fun comic stuff right here. Cap using his shield in a classic way. This guy's still buzzing from getting like zapped to eternity. Look at Falcon, man. This is stuff you can't. This is stuff you cannot write today. Check this out, guys. Hey, man, you forgot already that the Legion ain't cooperating with Sammy Falcon, the Oreo Wonder. Sorry, let me just make sure this is focused. The Oreo Wonder, and then the editor has to write black on the outside, white on the inside. Come on. You can't write that anymore these days. It's cool. It's a cool electro pose right there. Like, they never were able to get this character right in the movies because they didn't want to go into this costume. But that costume's so cool in comics. What a great Captain America drawing. I love that. No sound effects. Bam. Electro using his power to like melt through the building. It's amazing. It's great. It's just good comic stuff. Like really exciting, great drawings. It's like, I love it when his costume was just like this. I mean, I get it. They had to like tech it out for the movies, but there's just something really pure about this. Uh-oh, don't mix electricity with water. Wow. Great. That's a great pose. It's kind of this like street battle. Oh my gosh. Do you guys remember this ad? Totally remember this ad. It's funny because these ads are as much a part, just looking through that web of Spider-Man and like this book, these ads are just a part of the comic book as the comic itself. This wild drawing, I remember her. Yeah, it's good. This is fun. It's like a fun little book here. I'm actually curious about, I'll probably try and locate the other 3 issues if it's the same team. Because it's cool. It's really cool. It's solid, super solid. I almost enjoy this more than the stuff now that looks super realistic. And this is just pure comic fun here. The Falcon, it's a great cover. Falcon number 4 of 4. All right, let's see. Oh my gosh, wow, you guys jumped. Let's see. Schmitty Schmide, eh? Must be an old Jewish guy. Yeah. Random unholy sounds break out to my left, and I turn to see my mom manhandled. Oh dear. Sweet. Electro, one of my favorite Spider-Man enemies. He's awesome. He's great. I hated the way they treated him in the movies. It's horrible. Nostalgia time, that's right. Emo's pet is now dinner. Blue Falcon. Yet they didn't sue this costume. They didn't sue this costume in the Spider-Man movie. They didn't use this costume. I know, right? Yeah. Agreed on his costume design. The art looks great in that issue from what I can see. They decided Chris Evans was too old to play Captain America, so they made Falcon Captain America. Anthony Mackie is 3 years older than Chris Evans. That's ironic. And probably, from what I heard, Chris Evans kind of wanted to move on too. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen more turkeys walking around people's yards. Must be fitting them up for Thanksgiving. Do we still have a lurking ninja? She's got to be still. Some great panels in that issue. For a second, I thought Spider-Man was vacuuming. I hate the Falcon's costume, Cranberry Langers. That's okay. It is, I mean, it is dated. It is. But I still kind of prefer this one over the Marvel MCU one. That one is just too, yeah, there's no personality. It's like very cold. This one at least has, you know, it's his shtick, his thing. It's cool. I like it. That's a good question. Maybe the chat ninja could answer that. Great. Now I want Oreos. Who says we can't say what we want? It's not like YouTube censored any channels in 2020, right? Oreo is a well-known term. Same with coconut. I miss when comics were more truthful. Yeah. We seem to have major John deficiency, though. Emo Trash, I need you to do me a favor and summon him. Yes, summon John. Saw John earlier in another stream. You also have cream cookie and... John missed the book. For shame. I got to go back to work now. Enjoy the rest of the stream, everybody. See you later, Cranberry. Thank you for stopping in. Throw away your Advanced Dungeons and Dragons books. They are obsolete thanks to Advanced Dungeons and Dragons and Dragons for the Mattel Television. Nice. I discorded John. Thank you, Lindsay Rose. This one makes me think of disco. Oh no. What is this link? Oh yeah. I know this. Gosh, scared me. I know this. Wait, is it the same thing? New cover for it. I'm pretty sure I've seen this. This is the landscape version, right? Mr. Monkey Boy 1969. Let me see if I is this right? And this. Yeah. This is what Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 just sent the link for. It's Ronin 2 or Ronin Rising, the collector's edition, which is like a landscape format book. It's awesome. I've seen it. I don't own it. I have the individual issues, and I almost can't quite. If I can get it on sale, I might buy it because it's kind of cool. But I have the individual issues already. But yeah, I have mixed feelings about Ronin Rising. The original Ronin's one of my favorite Frank Miller things of all time. The Ronin Rising, it was, yeah, kind of mixed reviews a little bit for it. But thanks for sending that link. That is awesome. Okay. Okay, wait, let's see. John said he was catching up on a backlog. Okay. Awesome one, since he's not usually on YouTube until 9. I inquired at the beginning of the stream. He said he might pop in later, if we're still going later. Sounds like no fun for John. John's backlog is making chocolate logs. It's very artsy. Yes, it is. It is very artsy. And it's almost too artsy for its own good. It's almost like reading a poem as opposed to a comic. You are awesome. Hang on one second. Let me respond to this really quick. How do I do this? Switch to this. Okay, one second. Just got to respond to this message. Okay, next. Here we go. The Punisher is what? Classic, The Punisher. But why did I pick up this Punisher? This issue of The Punisher, number 24, is drawn by Eric Larson, who is the creator, one of the Image co-founders, well known for his run on Spider-Man, and also Savage Dragon is his creator-owned book. And he's still drawing Savage Dragon. He's right up there, like right on the heels of Todd McFarlane, of one of the longest running comic books of all time. And he's still drawing every issue pretty much of Savage Dragon. So yeah, it was kind of cool to see his take on Punisher here. And Scott Williams is the inker on Eric Larson. I think early on he worked with an inker, but then after a certain while, definitely, when he got to Image Comics and was working on Savage Dragon, he was inking his own stuff a lot of the time. So, but this is kind of cool to see the Scott Williams, Eric Larson combo here on Punisher. See, Punisher seemed like one of those books where they would, all their up and coming artists would get a crack at it. Like Jim Lee had a good run on Punisher. I know Will Portacio did as well. Eric Larson. I don't think Todd McFarlane ever drew Punisher, if I can think. But yeah, before any of those guys became big, they would draw on Punisher. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. I just realized I gotta shut a certain door. 1 second. Oh, you know what I realized? I realized that Mark's Music Obsession, he gave me a super chat earlier, which was awesome, and I never played the super chat thing. So here we go, super chat. Sorry about that, Mark. I missed that. I haven't played that in a while, but that's a good one. Thank you, Mark's Music Obsession, for that earlier super chat. That one's for you. Emo probably forgot to mention to John that it's a super show. That's what. It's true. It's true. Emo trash of you, but see, Comrade Sammy, if you were on Discord, you wouldn't have to ask Emo to do these things for you. John's Swing the World with Gothics. Oh, saving the world with Gothics. Got it. The Punisher. Is this written by Mike Barron? How about it? Mike Barron. Surprise, surprise. He was probably one of the biggest Punisher writers of all time. John says you're welcome to join Discord, Comrade Sammy. Now these ads I remember awesome one. Are you talking about the 1-800-255-3000 Nintendo ad? That's right. I had this guy. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Here we go. Punisher. So it's cool. I mean, it's great stuff. This is great Eric Larson artwork. It feels very much like his stuff with a hint of Scott Williams inks on it. Beautiful. That's cool. That's a cool face right there. I love this kind of coloring to show lighting. Like the inker and the artist, they did these hatch lines here, but this was the colorist deciding, I'm going to color this white to really show you the sunlight hitting his face here. It's great. So simple, but really effective. Same here. Eric Larson always does great explosions. Whew, a ninja. What is this? G.I. Joe? White snow ninja. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, this was 84, right? So this is before, oh, sorry, I'm sorry. This is 89, 1989. This was before Eric Larson became Eric Larson, where he was drawing on Spider-Man, but this already feels very much so his style. So kind of cool to see him pre-hitting superstar level. Mile High Comics. That image is still the same logo they use now. And I got to visit them. I've shown sometimes in front of my stream the comic book spotlight, the little video I cut together of Mile High Comics. And I have a t-shirt with Mile High Comics actually on it. But it's the same crazy gopher. Wow, this is a long book. This is great. Great images, great faces, great ink work. Ink work's great. Great action stuff. It's solid. Emo Trash says that Bowser design is crazy. Mark Suzy says, love it. Koopa Troopas used to have bird faces. Yeah, that's right. It's me, I'm Mario. Evil Kiwi. Nice. NES at $99. Switch 2 at $299 more or less. Yep. I think everybody had that NES set. There we go. A little more Blast from the Past. Punisher. So sorry, like each one of these back issues, at least I picked up, it's kind of like piecemeally, right? There's no context. But it's still kind of cool to see. And it also makes me think like, oh, maybe I should look at what issue 23 and issue 25. I wonder, like the issues around it. I wonder if they're worth hunting for. This is how it all starts for me. I'll find one issue of something, some obscure issue. I'm like, and then I'll just go down the rabbit hole of trying to collect all the issues around it. That's cool. Good stuff. Great artwork in this one. Punisher number 24. Snake Eyes, that right. This is back when Bowser was King Koopa and Peach was Princess Toadstool. That's right. Also, I very much enjoy sending personal messages via my friends who do have Discord, Rocky. It's more chaotic that way. I guess so. That is one way to do it. At least you have good friends. What does Renee want us to know in that editor page? Wait, this one. This one? She is the assistant editor on Conan. Silver Surfer, What If, Wolverine Saga, and the Call graphic novel. She was born in Texarkana, the Texas side. And her hobbies are reading, writing, going to the movies, photography, cooking, putting her car in and out of the shop. Her pet peeves are people who think they are absolute authority on anything, people who destroy the environment or mistreat animals, people who say I look like Meryl Streep, and her car. Okay, there you go. Renee, what's her name? Whippersnapper? Witterstatter? Witterstatter. All right. These are kind of a pair. I looked at a couple of them. I looked at one of them briefly last week when we were talking about Jay Lee's artwork, but I just wanted to flip through these really quick just to revisit. Youngblood Strikefile, issue 1 and 2. I believe there were either 3 or 4 total. And I'm just going to be looking at the Jay Lee side of it. But this is peak Jay Lee for me. And I love his artwork in this. It's just so aggressive and angry and just cool. Everything like a young teenage boy who loved comics was just like into at the time. But this is pretty cool. Created by Rob Liefeld, inked, penciled, and inked by Jay Lee. And it's just in your face. This is peak Image Comics, 1993. Wow. Yeah, because Image Comics started in 92. So this was kind of like they were hitting their stride. Jay Lee was becoming a superstar. And he worked on this, and he also worked on a Wildcats trilogy. But I almost like his artwork better on this Strikefile stuff. But look how awesome that is. It's got 24 abs right here. Jay Lee was known for like the splatter effects. He just went nuts with the splattering everywhere. So cool. It's great. Great stuff. Look, his blades have like extra blades. And then I would notice this in Jay Lee's art. It would start off so like amazing. All this like incredible layouts and poses and stylization. Is just style oozing off of it. And then when it gets towards the end of an issue, you'd start noticing he would just do a lot of things in silhouette, like really quickly. Everything would go into silhouette. He'd be running out of time. It's like, quick, just draw a guy at a desk. So cool. This side is like the Rob Liefeld side. It's funny because Danny Meeke, he's just really quickly, I'm not going to flip through this whole thing, but Danny Meeke is the inker on Hyde Street. And you guys remember Hyde Street is one of the best artwork of a current book right now that Ghost Machine is putting out. I've looked at many Hyde Streets on stream before, and the artwork is just phenomenal. It's like on a different level. And Danny Meeke's the inker. But it's so funny to see his early stuff here where he's inking Rob Liefeld. I mean, it's cool. It's Rob Liefeld, but it's not even close to what he does now on Hyde Street. This is fun. Another blast from the past. So yeah, these were kind of, hello. These were kind of they were like flip books. They had this side and this side. So you're getting 2 stories for the price of one. Jay Lee on one side and Rob Liefeld on the other side. This is gnarly. Like, he actually has this skull painted on his face, but Jay Lee's treating it like it is his face, which is ridiculous and cool. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 says, what are you doing, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969? Joe Paradise is a animated web series that I created and directed way back in the 2000s. It's a film noir kind of web series. So I don't know what you are doing. Rocky had not 1 but 2 power gloves. Now he just used them to pet his cats. I've been to Texarkana, someone says. Yes, well, maybe you can go meet Renee. Whippersnapper. Yes, I suppose I do have good friends who are willing to twist and turn just to send messages for me. So she's a woman and not that dude pretending to be a woman, comic dude, Gail. I'm not loving that second cover. My least favorite thing about silhouettes is spelling them. Yeah. I'm not loving the second cover. This one, yeah. I mean, I love Rob Liefeld stuff, but it was not as good as Jay Lee's stuff in this. Are you talking about this or are you talking about this cover? I love this cover. Okay, sorry, I'm going to keep flipping through. This is such old school Prophet. Wow, that's awesome. This is where all the money is spent, right here on this image. And he's just like splatter, 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 splatter. Silhouette of the Washington Memorial here. And I think Jay Lee was like 20 years old when he was drawing like this. Something crazy like that. He was super young when he got discovered. Still a teenager. That's great. Yeah, so this is a three issue series. Concluded next issue. This is the Rob Liefeld side. Oh, Rob. Super Patriot. Oh, that reminded me. I had a couple. This is something you could do on Discord that you can't do here, Comrade Sammy, but we had a couple challenge questions. One of the things I'm doing on Discord are challenge questions that I'm posting. I'm trying to post every week, and I posted 2 challenge questions already, and Cranberry Langers got the correct answers for both of those challenge questions on Discord. And I posted, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, a 3rd challenge question. So whoever has the most wins or the most correct answers by the end of this month, September, which are already coming up on, I'm going to mail them a little something at the end of this month. So that's going to just be an ongoing part of this channel, and more specifically Discord, is these challenge questions. And it's just a way of me, making it more fun, making people kind of go on a scavenger hunt amidst the content that I post on YouTube, but also to send little goodies here and there. So yeah, if you are part of Discord, you can go in the little server for the challenge questions, the YouTube challenge questions. And I posted the 3rd question there. So that one's up for grabs because Cranberry Landers got the correct answer for the first 2. Okay, so this is the last book we will look at today. Oh, I forgot to show you guys. Let me get this going. Hey, look. I also added music. Remember I said I needed music? All right, so Web of Spider-Man #1. So what we do at the end of these episodes, the show, we'll take a vote on what people's favorite book of the day or this episode of My Wednesday Comics is. So, Web of Spider-Man, Mark's Music Obsessions copy. Hello. Oh, here. Escape number 2. We've already looked at. That's the anthropomorphic war story. Skinbreaker number 1. Is this music too loud? Dang it. It's making me nervous. The Falcon number 4, that blast from the past with Electro. Punisher number 24, Eric Clarkson, Scott Williams. And now we just looked at Youngblood Strikefile number 1 and 2. And then the last book that we will look at, and again, I'm looking at this as a group as opposed to individual issues, is this book here, Team 7. So when I was digging through the back issues box, I only found issues 2, 3, and 4. Missing issue 1. It might be one of those things where I'm going to hunt to try and find that issue 1. But the reason why I picked this up is it's drawn by an artist by the name of Aaron Weisenfeld. And I don't know who JD is, but Scott Williams has also did some inking on this as well. But this is kind of this is connected to the Wildstorm mythos, and but it's more of like a war book, like being in the army, being in the military, and the characters that are in there. But the main character here is Lynch, this guy, who was one of Team 7. Team 7 was this military organization that had certain characters in it, and they all kind of went on after the end of the war or the term that they were together. They all kind of went off and did their own thing. And each one, some of them had superpowers, some of them were like super soldiers. Lynch went to the Wildcats universe. There was another character you guys might know, Deathblow. He was part of Team 7 as well. And then I also believe, I think Chapel was part of Team 7. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, it was their way to connect different characters and different books in the Image universe through this group, Team 7. But Aaron Weisenfeld was the artist on this, is why I picked it up. And he is known for his work on Deathblow Wolverine. That was a book that I looked at here before. Let me go grab it really quick. This is a French copy of Deathblow Wolverine, but he's awesome. He's a phenomenal artist, and he's now a fine artist. He does like paintings and makes tons of money off of his paintings. Way more money than he was making as a comic book artist. But yeah, just beautiful, beautiful guy. Beautiful artist. You know he knows how to draw, and just awesome ink work, pen work, composition, posing. It's beautiful. Really good stuff. So I believe, when did this come out? There's Deathblow right there. I can't remember what year Deathblow Wolverine came out. I can't remember if he did it before or after Team 7. I feel like he did it after, but I could be wrong about that. Glory. Awesome one likes that Glory. Don't skip. Patriot was my fave. Few you showed last time, you're like, ugh, Pretty Woman didn't show. It's not that I just don't want to get like, I don't mind showing it. I just don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. Here we go. Here's Glory. There you go. Awesome one. Rob Liefeld knew how to sell it. Knew how to sell this character. It's a pretty cool drawing. You happy now? Deep diving. It's old, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969. Oh my gosh, it's old. really old. It's back when we were designing a show for like a 56K modem. Crazy. Jay in his Stephen Platt era. It was more of his like Simon Bisley era, I'd say, with the splattering, stuff like that. And he definitely was looking at that, at Bisley's stuff. You can see the influence in there. Image made a habit of hiring high schoolers, like talented ones, though. Why am I the only one who gets called out? Because you're the only one who's not on Discord. Happy Tree Friends. Yes, I worked on that show. Also, way to go, Rocky. You killed my battery. We're down to 20%. Sorry. Not on purpose, but actually that used to happen a lot before. So we're doing good, I think. Plugging in though, so we good? Good. All right. I wouldn't be caught dead on Discord. Wait, did you say challenge questions? Am I in your Discord? I think so, awesome one. I think you are. I think you go by a different handle, but I think I saw you in there. At least at the first day we started it. Jeffrey Beat says, your Discord is great. Thank you. Coming from a reasonable person. Thank you so much, Jeffrey Beats. Jeffrey Beats dropped a question in there. I don't know if you saw my answer, Jeffrey Beats, but we're having a discussion, or he started a discussion of, talking about the new series that's coming out for X-Men called Shadows of Tomorrow. So he wanted to know what people thought of it and if people are going to pick it up. Mark's book has to be the favorite of the day. We'll see. We'll see. I just hear yapping. I thought it was Stormwatch. Is he the Grinch's cousin? Oh, gosh. It related to the Cabal. Yes. What the heck is itted? I don't know. Team 7 was pretty cool, saying hi real quick before boss throws things at me. Hey, what's up, Unhinged? Jason Bascom. It was great being in your chat the other night, too. Always a fun stream with Jason. He's hilarious. Team 7 was pretty cool. Yeah, I never read the series, to be honest, and I need to. And a lot has to do with, like, I like Weisenfeld's artwork. I like it more in Deathblow Wolverine, though, but it's cool. I mean, it's cool. And to try and see, like, a military story is kind of cool, too. Here we go. There's Deathblow. A bunch of other characters that they all kind of tied into the Image world. Oh, yeah, that's right. I think somebody from Wellworks was in this team, too, maybe. I should look it up. But it's cool. Some early Weisenfeld artwork. Dane. Yeah, Dane is a character from Wetworks, which is Whilce Portacio's book. It's got a very Barry Windsor Smith flavor to it, especially with this kind of hatching. There's a great cover right there. I thought Grifter was... I think you're right, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969. So yeah, it's kind of cool to see them all... trying to tie them all into this. It's a cool idea. I don't know how the execution was, but it's a cool idea. Who's the writer? The writer is... Oh, Chuck Dixon. You just said that. Thank you. Oh, Chuck Dixon. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. It's a Weisenfeld pinup. I feel like he was looking at Barry Windsor Smith with a lot of this stuff. It's like really gritty, boots on the ground, military ops. It's cool. That's a cool face. Cool coloring too. Let's totally look in the mirror for that drawing. Okay. That was issue 3. Here's issue 4. Yeah, these are cool. I love these full page things. Wow, that's totally different. Totally different style. Yeah, I mean, it feels, straight up military drama, but you can feel they're inserting a little bit of like the powers or the abilities just to hint at it. End of team series here. Okay, so yeah. And then they did another series. I don't think Weisenfeld drew the other series. Let's see. I know Cash is Grifter, Cray is Deathbolt, Slayton is back. Oh, Backlash is in it. Lynch is working with Gen 13. Dane is in Wetworks. Is there any relationship between Fairchild and Team 7 and Gen 13? Yeah. Cool. He lists his influences Michael Golden, Mike Mignola, Frank Miller, and George Jafino. You can see that in all this work. Neat. I do have to find issue 1 now. Because these are the 3 out of the 4 miniseries. So yeah, it would only make sense. I need to find issue 1 of this. It looks worth it. So there you go. Team 7. Random, but kind of cool. Ugly, except for that spread. Backlash, Deathblow, Grifter. There you go. McKinney showed a naked woman because game glitches out the costume. He didn't get struck. Though I'd delete it later, though. McKinney. Hey, guess what? I'm dial up. On Discord. No kidding. No kidding. Wait, are you? No, you're not. Are you? I don't see you on Discord. Oh, wait. Awesome One's on Discord. I just got a message from him. There's 2 other people who confess to not having Discord. Awesome One rarely uses it. Great, now I have the burps. I hardly use my Discord either. 99% of my Discord usage is just talking to John. There you go. Yeah, you used it. It wasn't enough that he was pushing furry books. Now Rocky is peer pressuring us to join Discord. Is he trying to get us on some kind of list? I don't know. Am I? It's an ulterior motive. Okay, what's the last one here? Oops. Team 7, issues 2 and 4. Okay, guys, I got the music. Those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books to choose from today. Web of Spider-Man #1. Quick recap. Web of Spider-Man #1 is Mark's Music Obsessions actual copy of that he sent to me and that I unboxed on stream today. Escape #2 is the War Story by Rick Remender and Acuna is the artist. The furry one. Skinbreaker #1, David Finch and Robert Kirkman. Fantasy. Amazing artwork. The Falcon, one of the blasts from the past. Electro, Falcon, Captain America. What could go wrong? The Punisher, drawn by Eric Larson, Scott Williams, Youngblood, Strikefile, J. Lee Goodness, and Team 7, Aaron Weisenfeld. That war story with war team with all the characters from all the different Image books. Hurry up, I have to use the little monkey's room. Not gonna lie, I just snoozed. That's okay, Lindsay Rose. That's okay. Rocky skipped right over the ad for Boogerman, a pick and flick adventure. That last page was in Wetworks, which seems very similar to John Malin's monster books. All right. Boogerman was fun. Nice. Why is this font so small? I feel like I need to make this font a little bigger. So, that work? No. Okay, put in the chat what you guys think is your favorite from this week. What other than the artist makes you want to pick up a particular page for a master study? Great question. Art is a big one. The artist, particular artist is a big one, which one I choose. But also if they're doing some sort of technique that I want to learn from. So in the Frank Miller page, I love Frank Miller, but what I was really interested in trying out was like the screen tones and using screen tone, cutting out screen tones and using those and applying them to a page was a big reason why I picked that. Sometimes it's the tools that they use. So, they're inking with a crow quill or inking with a sable brush. That's also why I pick it. And then other times it's like what they're doing in a particular panel layout. So learning from that. And it's not just recreating the artwork, but it forces me to dissect it as I'm doing the drawing and kind of understand like why they made certain choices of an angle or a face or a pose or a panel layout. Like that kind of stuff is very interesting for me to do. So it's all those factors. A big part of it though is the artwork and the artist. And if I like the artist, I won't do a master study on artists I'm not a big fan of. Union was such a good book. Too bad he was never used much. Yeah, Mark Texiera. Boy, you're having some spelling issues today. Awesome one. Not on Discord. Speaking of the music, you never played the Shooting the Fat intro. I didn't? Are you sure? Awesome one says Team 7. Is that your vote? Awesome one? Web of Spider-Man for Lindsay Rose. All right, I'm going to say Web Spider-Man and Lindsay Rose. Team 7, awesome one. If that is your vote, just confirm it. But I assume it is your vote. Awesome one. These mostly look cool, but I've got to go with Spider-Man. Nice. All right, 2 for Spider-Man, 1 for Team 7. Ugh, what happened? What the heck just happened? Why did that do that? Why did that do that? Hang on. Web of Spider-Man. Okay. Weird. Team okay now got a P. 7. Okay, 2 for Team 7. Wow. Nice. I love that. So I got 2 Team 7, 2 Web of Spider-Mans. Next on Rocky's Master. Also one says, I briefly looked back at Spider-Man, didn't like it. Okay. Team 7 purely because the one cover honestly looked like the Grinch. Oh, this cover? Okay. Team 7 it is. Wow, Team 7, get out of town. Pulling ahead here. Oh, hey, Little Bird is free. Free Bird. That's right. He was only waiting for this moment to be free. Emo's house is for the... Makes sense about page picking. Yes. I think my tablet is old, so it's not picking up keystrokes, plus AI keeps changing the words. Yes, Awesome One said Team 7. Okay, we got that vote. Comrade Sammy, Rocky, did you already mark my vote for Web of Spider-Man? I did not. Oh, I know also, I believe Mark's Music Obsession had to take off, but I'm pretty sure he's voting for Web of Spider-Man. So I'm going to add 2 more votes there. Comrade Sammy and Mark's Music Obsession. Web of Spider-Man has 4 votes. That's right, Mo Biggs. 7 votes here. Between Web of Spider-Man and Team 7. Wow, that is a close one. Did everybody vote? I think so. Lindsay Rose, you voted, right? She said Web of Spider-Man, I thought. Yes. No, not tied. No. Yes, I got that, Comrade Sammy. It's not tied. It's not. I'll give it a couple more seconds here, but I'm pretty sure Web of Spider-Man is going to win. Wait, we just got a write-in for Pride of the X-Men? That would be amazing. Tied. Yes. Okay. I'm going to call it. I think Web of Spider-Man's a winner. I think it is. Although Team 7, man, that gave it a great run for its money. I'm surprised about that. No, this has nothing to do with the drawing. I'm not doing a cover for Team 7. But Web of Spider-Man is a bit of an exception. I do feel like 70-80% here, we're going in that route for the next Master Study. Team 7 would go in and annihilate Spider-Man. Would it, though? Come on. That's Spider-Man we're talking about here. All right, let's call it. How do I do this? Oh, yeah, boop. I wish there was a easier way to do this. Oops. There we go. Web of Spider-Man number 1. Oops. That's our winner for this week. Web of Spider-Man number 1. Special shout out to Mark's Music Obsession for sending me that book and giving us that opportunity to share it here on stream with you guys. It was really awesome and yeah, really cool. More than just the book itself, but just to be able to share that with you guys, for him to love it so much that he would ship me a copy of it is pretty awesome. Spider-Man is okay as a character, but not my favorite. Not your favorite. My favorite? All right, there we go. Favorite book of my Wednesday comics. So I will adjust the thumbnail. Surprisingly, my current thumbnail was Skinbreaker. Nobody voted for Skinbreaker. That was kind of shocking. But I will adjust the thumbnail for this page, for this stream, to be Web of Spider-Man number 1 in honor of the winner of my Wednesday comics favorite book. So there we go. That's what I got to share with you guys. Just want to do one more thing really quick. Let me... Where are we here? Yes. And then this. Boom. Okay, and I'm going to move this to this. All right. And then go here. Okay, so just for those of you, let me publish. Okay, stop. Just for those of you who are new or care to see, here we go. Here's the Discord. Wait a minute. There we go. That was confusing. This is Discord. This is where our Discord is right now. Jeffrey Beats, see, look at him at the bottom there. It says, good day, all. Right there, showed up. And he said the Discord's cool. But yeah, just to go over really quick, if you wanted to say the link, the invite to join Discord, Comrade Sammy, is pinned at the top of chat. Just in case. But we got a welcome here when people join in. Announcements, we pop in here. Different announcements and stuff like that. The videos, every time I post a new video on YouTube, it'll automatically show up here, which is just to keep everybody informed of what I'm doing. Here's where the YouTube challenge lives. And I pin them up also here at the top. So these first two challenge 1 and 2, Cranberry Langers already got the win for those. And I post at the end of each week the scoreboard, which is right here. It's called September Challenge. Cranberry Langers has 2 points. So here's the latest challenge question, number 3. Who is the owner of the Amazing Fantasy Comic Book Shop? I've talked about him a lot. If you know the answer, be the first to reply to that question, and you get a point. That's how that works. There's a community tab here. I put polls. Nobody answered the poll here, but people answered the poll on YouTube. It's confusing. But I asked the poll, how many times a week do your favorite streamers go live? I'm just curious about just more information for myself as a YouTube streamer. Different answers here. 1, 2 to 3, 4 to 5 every day. Just curious what, as you guys watch YouTube, what do your favorite streamers do? We also have a section here of the Super Duper Comic Book Club where we're discussing different comic books, or an opportunity to discuss different comic books. Wait, let me close this. And I need to post I was hoping that the first discussion was on 300. And I have a little instructions here about how people could comment on it. But I need to post my own review of 300, Frank Miller's 300, which I thought would be really good. And then also, like I mentioned earlier, Jeffrey Beats placed in this question about Shadows of Tomorrow. I put my response here. So it's just a way to have more discussion on different comic stuff. There's a share stuff tab here. Oh, this is awesome. Thank you for doing this, Emo Trash. She just posted pictures of her bird. How cool is that? Wow, that is a beautiful bird, Emo Trash. Oh my goodness. That's a beautiful bird. Wow. See, so this is stuff that you can't do on YouTube. But I love that we could see that here. That's a stunningly beautiful bird. What is this? Yeah, the ferret. Beautiful. Not as beautiful physically as the bird, but I love that there's just a random ferret. But so good. So cool. And then there's an art lounge. I like to call it an art lounge. Different places people can drop their own art. Mark's Music Obsession posted this. This was a piece of artwork that he bought from my good buddy Shanthan Jetty Art off of one of his YouTube streams. I think Shant did a live stream where he painted this from scratch pretty much and was talking about his painting techniques. And Mark bought the original and he posted it here for us all to see, which is awesome. Timmy Mello has posted some artwork of his own drawings here. Really cool stuff. Film studies. This is a section that I hope to grow a little bit more in the future, but just thought cool exercise of studying film, composition, lighting. These are some studies that I've done in the past from inception the movie Inception, which I think has amazing cinematography in it. So just some film studies that I did there. Love that one. And this one is this is a cool section. I call it the comic. Oops. Let me hide this. The comic artist reference. So this is where I post like different artists that I admire and examples of their work. So Stephen Platt, just posting different things there. People can add to these threads. So if you have Stephen Platt art you want to share, you can add here. Nick Dragotta, the artist on Absolute Batman. Frank Robbins, Alex Toth, Raphael Grompa was a new one I added. And then just today, I think it was today, Timmy Mello posted this one, started a thread on Ed McGuinness, which is awesome. So yeah, I love it that people are starting to add their own things. I don't want this to just be me putting whatever it is on Discord. I love it that you guys are contributing to this. And then if you are a Groundbreaker and you support me on Fourth Wall, there's special things for the Groundbreaker, special behind the things for there. So there's extra Discord things you can do there. And then finally, this is the stream room. This is where I watch... oh dear, did that just mess up my mic? I hope that didn't mess up my mic. But where I'll stream different things here, and then there's a little chat window that pops up when we do. So this is where it happens in the stream room. So there you go. That's my Discord. Simple, but it's growing. And come join the party. We're a little lacking in the ninja category at Discord, but hopefully that will change in the future. I think the only Spider-Man I have are the McFarlane and Larson books. Those are good ones. There's some other great Spider-Man artists. Steve Ditko, John Romita Jr., John Buscema, John Romita Sr. Lots of great Spider-Man artists out there. Skinbreaker did have cool art. It did. Yeah. Change your vote, Lindsay. Nope. You know, I find it ironic that you called Discord private and now you're showing it on stream for the whole world to see. Well, just for this snapshot, just to give people a taste. And then, you know, if they want to, they can be more involved. If you aren't a member of the Super Duper Comics Club, you ain't nothing but a... Yes, agreed. I'm in your DM, but not Discord. Shanth is so good. He really is. Like that particular piece that he did, that the fact that he did that scratch, like all on stream is amazing. Because I've seen him paint like details or reworking a certain area, but from zero to that finish was incredible. Mr. Monkey Boy says he's okay. Where was Timmy Mello today? That's a good question. Timmy was probably just hanging out in the Super Duper Comics Club Discord. I don't know. Maybe Timmy was at a game. His team, we always talk baseball, but his team did, I think, make it into the playoffs. My team just got eliminated last night. Kind of disappointing. So maybe he's helping out at a game. If you aren't in there, are you even trying to live your best life? That's right. Where's the hacking room where you try to solve that? So if I was still reading that book, which I'm not, it didn't keep me totally hooked. I would have started a hacking puzzle channel on there, but I didn't. Okay, thank you. Yeah, sometimes Discord will like with their audio device will kind of screw up other things. I've noticed that it kind of messes up my audio on some other times, so I got a little nervous there. Jay was like, ugh, happy Rocky and Shanth last night. Yes, where's the heckling section? Hey, if people ask for a heckling section, we can create one. That's true. Any section can be heckling, yes. Yes, absolutely. Chat Ninja, come on. Zaid Comics, what's up? Zaid Comics coming in at the end. I'm about to end the stream here. Phil, but good seeing you. Hope your campaign, The Man with No Strings, Did I get that right? The gun with no strings? The man with no gun? The man with no strings, I think. Hope that campaign's going good. It looks awesome. I think Phil just announced that they upgraded the newsprint that they're printing on that book, which is amazing. I will be totally upfront with you. I have not ordered my copy yet, but I am debating. I think the newsprint one is the way I'm going to go. But just to hear that it got upgraded made me go, okay, I think that is the one I want to go to. So that order will be coming shortly, Phil. I was thinking the same thing about him showing the Discord. Hello, hello to Phil. I answered the challenge questions. Did you? Awesome one. Did you? Let me look. Thank you. Awesome one. Thank you. First of all, that is not the correct answer. And second of all, you did not reply to the challenge question. You just wrote it out there in the open. So 2 strikes, -2 points for you. The heckling section is all of them. As always, the gun with no strings. There you go. The man with no strings. There's the link. Yes. Yes. It's a Western book. Yes. And the artwork looks amazing. And it looks like it's going to be a cool book. So I'm really excited for that one. Great campaign, Phil. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming. Hit that like before you head out of here. Tell your friends about it. Discord link is in the chat. Where's the chat? Is it this way? Discord link is pinned in the chat if you want to join. I would love to have you be there and help continue build that community. And it's just a way to keep in touch and continue a conversation outside of YouTube. So thank you so much for everybody who's already in there. And for those of you who might consider coming, we'd love to have you. It's a great place. -2 points for Gryffindor. Yes. It was awesome seeing you guys here. Next, I am going to be prepping for the master study coming up, and it's going to take all this goodness, figuring out how to get all this goodness prepped. This is by far the winner for this week. Thanks to our friend Mark's Music Obsession, also YouTube channel member and super chat dropper as of today. Please join my YouTube, subscribe, become a member. It's fun. We'd love to have you there too. So many things going on. All right. We'll see you later. Mobiggs, I believe, was first in chat. Channel member Mobiggs was first in chat. Check out the credits, or not credits. Check out the chat at the end. And we'll see you later. Have a good rest of your Wednesday. I will see you guys. I don't know if I'm going to stream again this week, but if I get some headway on prepping for this master study and figure out what my plan is, I might stream again. But if not, stay tuned to Discord or whatever else I communicate with you guys. Answer all the polls, go to all the posts, keep in contact. We'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Have a good rest of your day.